Most people look at an abandoned building and see wood and stone. But in Radford, Virginia, there is a place where the walls don't just have ears. They have voices. And those voices haven't stopped screaming for 100 years. Welcome to St. Albans Sanatorium, once a school for boys, later a house of medical horrors. It has been called the most haunted location on the East Coast. Let's step into the wound and reality that refuses to heal. Long before the bricks were laid in 1892, this land was already soaked in blood. In 1755, the Shawnee tribe staged a brutal attack to protect their land. Legend says the ground itself became sour when St. Albans opened as a Lutheran boys' school in 1892. You would expect a place of learning. Instead, it was a pressure cooker of cruelty. Bullying wasn't just common, it was encouraged to build character for young boys. The environment was so toxic that several students took their own lives rather than face another day inside the walls of the Lutheran school. But the true nightmare began in 1916 when it became a psychiatric infirmary. By 1945, the staff-to-patient ratio was a staggering 48 to over 6,500. It wasn't a hospital anymore. It was a warehouse full of the unwanted. If you think the good old days of medicine were kind, you're dead wrong. In the basement and a suicide bathroom, doctors practiced what they called treatments. Imagine being strapped to a gurney in the dark. No anesthesia. The smell of ether thick in the air. But that wasn't to be used on you. They used ice water baths, wrapping patients mummy style in freezing towels for days on end. They used insulin-induced comas and primitive frontal lobotomies. Dr. Joseph DeJarnette, a notorious figure in Virginia's medical history, performed experimental procedures here that left victims brain dead, if they survived at all. The suicide bathroom earned its name because at least 4 people ended their lives there to escape the care of the doctors. Even today, investigators report the smell of copper, fresh blood, and the feeling of invisible hands trying to push them towards the very windows where patients once jumped. The hauntings here aren't just bumps in the night. They are aggressive. There's the crawler, a humanoid shadow that doesn't walk. It scurries across the floors and up the walls, disappearing into the rotted ceiling. Then there's Rebecca, a patient who suffered unspeakable trauma. Rebecca is said to roam the halls searching for the children she lost. Ghost hunters have captured EVPs of a woman's voice softly singing, a lullaby that turns into a sob. In the basement bowling alley, the atmosphere changes. The air is heavy and thick. People have been scratched and pushed. They've had their names whispered in their ears by something that wasn't there and hasn't breathed for over 70 years. St. Albans isn't just a building. It's a memory that won't fade, a collection of thousands of souls who were forgotten by the world, but who refused to be ignored in the afterlife. If you ever find yourself on the bluffs of the New River and you see a light in the window where there's no electricity, keep driving. Because at St. Albans, the checkout time was decades ago.
We're still
but
here.
No one ever truly leaves. Would you go inside?
Here.
Let me know in the comments. If you want more Haunted After Dark, hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, you may not want to know what lies in the unknown.